What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is in poor taste due to the current unemployment rate, but I don't care. r/IDontWorkHerelady. I'm joking. Of course I care. Alright, this story's called, My Taxes Pay Your Salary. No, they do not. This happened 3 years ago, but my friend reminded me of it yesterday, so I thought I'd share. It was in the middle of June, and my first weekend off in quite a long time. I'd been giving my friend a never-ending rain check of promising to teach her to fish. Our schedules finally line up, weather's perfect, it's fishing time. We arrive at a local lake. It's the type where you don't need a fishing license, just a pass for the lake. Money goes to the city. We buy our passes from the concession stand and head back to my car to get the gear. I brought 3 setups. One for me, one for friend, one just in case. It's a really busy Saturday morning, lots of people. We do a mini hike across the lake to get to our spot and get to fishing. Friend learns quickly. We catch a few before the sun's all the way up. We're pumped how well the day is going and decide to go take a lunch break when it starts to get hot. At about 11, we take the stuff back to my car. We chill, eat, hydrate, and head back. While we're walking back, a group of kids break away from their families to follow us around. They were all boys. 4 of them. 3 of them were probably 8 to 11 years old, and the 4th is maybe 6. I'm thinking they just want to watch us fish, and they likely told their parents where they were going, so I don't even think about it. We get back to our spots, but the kids are trying to follow us down the hill. The top of the hill has a trail. If you're careful, you can climb down to reach a small landing that's close to the water's edge. It was stressing me out to watch these kids try and climb down, so I yell up to tell them a safer place for them to watch. Basically next to us, easier to get to, but there's a gap in between the landings. Once they got down, they decided to have a rock skipping contest. Not exactly polite to do that next to people fishing, but I let it go. Then these kids decide to have a jumping contest. They're jumping from their landing to our landing back and forth. There's only a 2-foot gap, but if they fell, they'd definitely get hurt. Friend is getting more stressed than me watching them, makes them promise her to be careful. They said what I probably would have said when I was their age, "Fine." Whatever, guys. The ringleader of the group, oldest, maybe 11, then asks me if they're allowed to fish. I ask them if they have a pass. Stupid me. They say yes in unison. I tell them, if you got a pass, you're good to go. Ringleader puts his hands on my fishing pole that I'm still holding and asks if he can use it. I pull away, say, "No, bud, I'm using it." He picks up my just-in-case pole without asking and says, "What about this one?" "No, that's mine, and I don't want you hurting yourself with it." Little brat gives me an attitude and shouts, "Well, what can I use?" I didn't even know what to say at first, but I pulled out Old Faithful. Go ask your parents. It worked. They immediately left. About 20 minutes later, we hear a large group of people coming down the trail. It's the kids and their family. And the kids are whispering and pointing at me, mostly just ringleader. A female, a bit older than me, guessing mom, angrily makes her way over to the spot and lays into me. I don't remember everything, but the general consensus is that I'm ungrateful and I need to get shot. Her words. Kids are still close, so I decide to keep it PG. I also have a little issue with my hearing. If something is too loud, I can't usually make out the sound. Like if you're yelling at me, I'm not gonna get every word. I explain I can't hear her when she raises her voice. She starts yelling louder. I'm getting nothing. Friend is mortified. I stare at her until there's a break and say, "Yeah, I didn't get a word of that." She almost starts to go off again when the husband, boyfriend, older brother shouts something at her in another language and she stops. "Did you tell these boys they couldn't fish?" "No, I said just the opposite." She's stunned. "Why can't they fish then? They're allowed to fish at this lake." They can fish. They're absolutely allowed to fish here. They just can't use my stuff. "Why not? Everyone else here is fishing. This lake is owned by the city." "Yup, sure is." Blank stares for way too long. "You need to teach them to fish." "Miss, I can't watch all of them. What if they hurt themselves?" "Yes, you are. My taxes pay your salary." "No, they do not. Yes, they do. I pay taxes and taxes pay for this lake, and they better not hurt themselves because if they do... You think I work here? More blank stares. Miss, I work at place I used to work, doing thing I did while I was there. Even more blank stares. I fix computers. I didn't, but it's easier to say that than explain what I really did. Silence. This poor lady looks so embarrassed as it clicks that I'm just a person fishing on their day off. But I don't even get an apology. No recognition that she was wrong. She climbs back up over to the rest of the family as they quietly speak amongst themselves, walking away in their shame. When they're finally out of sight, Friend and I give each other the "what the heck just happened" look and break into the most beautiful 45-minute session of uncontrollable laughter I've ever had. First off, I must congratulate OP here for keeping his composure. Or her. I don't think they made it very clear. And I know I'm gonna read in the comments, "Oh, if she said I should have gotten shot, I'd have pulled out my M1 Garand that I always keep in my back pocket." You gotta love YouTube comments. You see some of the darndest things, like, "Oh, I would have knocked him out," or something like that. I don't know, just some r/I am very badass stuff. And it's always fun to read. And if I'm making fun of you, I'm sorry, but like, you do be acting like that. Alright, this story's called "I'm a Park Supervisor, but not this park supervisor." A bit long, sorry. As I've said in other posts, I'm a retired state park supervisor, so this story is from a while back. Every Monday, we had to turn in weekly reports at our headquarters. There are a lot of things we're supposed to turn in then, but the important one was our weekly financials. That is, account for how many camping permits we sold, rentals, picnic or beach passes, etc., and how much money we took in. We did one for each day and one for the week. I was known as being OCD about them, so mine were always right. And I'd often walk other park supervisors or assistants through any issues they had. On this Monday, I turned in my reports, no problems, and started putting our supply order into the truck. That's when my boss came out and said, "Hey OP, can you stop by Dee's Park on your way back? She can't print out her financials." I replied, "Yeah, I'll see what I can do." The reason I was asked is that I used to be a systems admin and owned a computer shop before this, and our IT people were notorious for slow response times. As a result, I frequently got called first to see if I could fix it. I didn't mind, because Dee was not just a friend of mine, she's been my boss when I'd started, and I'd learned a lot about running parks from her. I stopped by and Dee was getting frantic. She told me that everything had worked until yesterday, and while she was able to put the information in, the system wouldn't pull up the report page for printing. I told her to show me what she did. She pulled up the browser to access our reporting system, and right away, I saw the problem. "Why are you using Chrome?" I asked. Dee replied, "What? What do you mean? I just clicked on the icon to do my report," she said. Now, I have no problem with Chrome or Firefox, but the official browser was Internet Explorer. The system we used for reports had browser-specific scripts, so you couldn't use any other browser. I explained this to Dee, and she growled. It turned out that yesterday her daughter and grandson had come for a visit, and while Dee had been out taking care of something, her daughter decided to upgrade the computer by installing Chrome on it. Of course, one of the things it does is ask you if you want to make it the default browser, and she'd clicked yes, hence the difficulty in printing reports. It was an easy fix, I just had to change it back, which I did. I then said, "Now try it," to Dee, and lo, the report popped up. She thanked me and I said, "No problem, glad it was a simple fix, but tell your daughter to not upgrade the work computers." I left the office and was headed to my truck when this woman came charging up to me. Late 40s or early 50s, sort of chubby, blonde, short hair, a Karen. "Are you the park supervisor?" she said. I'm a park supervisor, but not." That was all I got out. She proceeded to start yelling about how my park ranger had ruined her family's weekend. Now, this park didn't have a park ranger. She was talking about Dee. I tried to get a word in edgewise, but nope. She was on a tear about that bimbo. I realized I was going to have to wait her out. She proceeded to tell me all about how Dee had ruined her weekend while I started mentally adding up the various park rules and state laws this woman and her family had broken. By the time she had wound down, I'd counted 5 park rules, 2 misdemeanors, and a probable felony, and thinking that Dee must have been in a forgiving mood. She finally ended with, "And I want her fired!" I said, "I can't do that." She yelled, "Why the hell not?" I said, "Because she's the supervisor of this park. I'm the supervisor of a different park. I can say that I wouldn't have ruined your weekend." She said, "Really?" I said, "Absolutely. If you'd been at my park, I'd have had the police in to give you tickets and then evicted you. I'd have ruined your life." She stared at me for a second and said, "I'm going to call you headquarters about this." I said, "I'm sure you will when you get home." And then I smiled and in a cheery voice added, "Now, have a safe trip." She huffed, turned around, and stormed back to her car. I waved as she left. As her car was disappearing, I heard laughter coming from behind me. Dee had come out of the office and had tears in her eyes from laughing. She said, "I can't believe you just did that." I said, "Well, I figured I should show her just how much worse it could get." Dee said, "I always thought people from my former park were exaggerating when they called you the supervisor from hell. I thought you were really easygoing, but I can see now why they called you that." I said, "I don't like doing it, but when the situation calls for it, well, I release my inner butthole. That is called a prolapsed anus, and you might want to get that checked out, buddy." We laughed and I went back to my park. No, the Karen never called, or if she did, it never made it back to us. Ha! Stupid Karen. She thought he was her salvation. Little did she know that by speaking to him, she merely ensured her imminent destruction. This story's called, "No, I absolutely won't come with you to your car." So I'm 15 and female. This morning, my older brother called me because the key to his car wasn't working, electric short, and he wanted me to wake my dad up so we could bring him the spare. That I did. So my dad drives us to this 7-Eleven parking lot that my brother is stuck in and hands me his card, telling me to grab him a Coke Zero and get myself something to drink and eat. It's 7:30 a.m. I'm wearing fuzzy slipper boots, leggings, a sick Persona 5 mask that I sewed myself, nice, AirPods, and a Marvel hoodie. I have cotton candy pink hair, and I wear glasses. I'm also 5'1" and look way younger than I actually am unless I'm wearing makeup. In comes Bill. Bill is somewhere over 6 feet tall and large. I don't know if it was fat or muscle, but he was big. I don't have social anxiety. My dad is a musician, so I'm used to being approached by adults that I don't know, and can generally hold friendly conversation, help people who need help, stuff like that. This guy is not wearing a mask. He looks like if Guy Fieri, the guy from Duck Dynasty, and Joe Exotic had a 400-pound love child. He's wearing a sleeveless muscle shirt with the words, "Keep America Great" on it, and a graphic of the president holding a guitar. I'm standing in front of the fridge door that had energy drinks in it when Bill over here taps on my shoulder. I turned around. In this moment, I felt like Derek Shepard when the semi-truck was coming. Pure fear. The conversation went as follows. "Hey, sorry, am I in your way?"
"You're awfully young to be working here. Can I see your manager? I don't think pants like that should be allowed on the job."
Me, now very confused. "I'm sorry, I don't work here. Do you need help? I can get an employee if you need." I picked up 2 orange monsters. My AP test is on the 11th and I need to get my sleep schedule back on track, so I'm pulling an all-nighter, and moved 6 feet away from the guy. I already had Dad's soda tucked under my arm.
"Are you one of them illegal girls who do free car washes? Can you clean out my passenger seat and come home with me? Nobody'll notice, just say you're on your break."
That escalated quickly. For context, I'm black, white, Hispanic, mixed, but didn't end up with curly hair or blue eyes. I have brown eyes and very thick and wavy dark brown hair that's balayaged pink from right above my ears to the end. "No, I'm sorry. Let me find you an employee."
"Nah, it'll be just fine."
Bill then reaches for my free hand, which I very sharply pull away. I started walking to the front of the store, and he follows a few feet behind. I put my things on the counter and start to check out. Bill is standing like a foot behind me. Good morning. Did you find everything okay? Good morning. Yes, I did. Thank you for asking.
Excuse me? Excuse me, I can see that you're friends and all, but your employee has been absolutely disgusting to me and I want my gas pumped for free.
Sir, I'm sorry. She's not an employee. She's a customer.
No, she is not. She offered to help me in the outback there.
Sir, that was probably just her practicing common courtesy. Is your chip reader working or should I swipe?
I want your manager now.
Sir, I'm the only person here right now. The manager will be here at 10 a.m. I'm standing there holding the card and waiting for this dude to back off and grab a little tube of donuts from the counter for my troubles, then place it down since I hadn't paid yet. Bill then huffs and storms out, gets into a 4x4 with wheels as tall as me, and very aggressively drives away as Hotel California blares from the speakers. I could hear it from inside the store. The chip reader works great. Go ahead. The total is $11.24. I left and found my dad, handed him the bag, and told him my tale. We leave. On the way home, we pass Bill's truck. I don't think he saw us. I hope he didn't. We were in a Prius. 4x4 versus Prius never goes well for the Prius. Okay, first of all, that's horrible. That guy really needs to learn some things. Really good job keeping your guard up and going to the front of the store. While there is a possibility that he was literally just trying to get help and would have been nice, you never want to take that risk. Never. And he probably wasn't going to be nice given how he was treating the employee and stuff. And you, I guess. That guy was just not very friendly and not good and just, anyways, good thinking. You acted smart and, just stay safe. Like, seriously, someone wearing a shirt like that, you never know what they're going to do next. Swear to God, muscle shirt wearing people are just something else. See, I got you there. No politics in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.